Do you ever feel like you're living in a simulation? Like everything you know and experience isn't real? Well, if you're watching this video, the answer is probably yes. Welcome to Broken Biscuits. Today we're going to talk about one of the most influential myths in American culture, the frontier myth or myth of the West. The frontier is the concept of a place that exists at the edge of a civilization, particularly during a period of expansion. The American frontier occurred throughout the 17th to 20th centuries as European Americans colonized and expanded across North America. This period of time became romanticized and idealized in literature and art to form a myth. In the late 1800s, American writers and artists began to construct a mythology around the American frontier. They imagined a heroic past in which rugged individualists carved out a life for themselves on the wild frontier. These stories were incredibly popular, and the frontier myth has had a lasting impact on American culture. The idea of the frontier as a place of opportunity and adventure has inspired generations of Americans to explore and settle new lands. But the reality of the frontier was much more complicated than the myth suggests. For many Native Americans, the frontier was a place of violence and displacement. As European settlers moved westward, they brought with them diseases that devastated Native American populations who'd never even seen a Spaniard. And when I say diseases, I don't mean like the common cold or the flu. I mean diseases like smallpox, which had a mortality rate of up to 90%. For the survivors, the frontier was also a place of war and oppression. As settlers continued to encroach on Native American lands, tensions rose and eventually erupted into violence. The United States government forcibly relocated thousands of Native Americans to reservations, often through brutal and inhumane means. Despite these hardships, the frontier myth has endured. In fact, it's become even more popular in recent years. This is partly because the United States has become less and less of a frontier nation. As our country has become more developed, the opportunities and adventures of the frontier have become more and more rare. As a result, the frontier has become a symbol of American values. It represents a time when Americans were more free and independent than they are today. Well, that's all we have for today. But before you go, I want to leave you with one thought. The frontier may be a myth, but its legacy is very real. The actions of European Americans on the frontier had a profound impact on the history of the United States. The violence, displacement, and oppression that accompanied the westward expansion of European Americans is a dark chapter in American history. But it's a necessary one if we're going to understand the United States today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Till next time, have your best day.